Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out to be here today. I'm Karan Mulchandani, and I'm the founder of Enlightened Sapiens. And welcome to yet another Enlightened Sunday. So, as many of you may know, we hold these sessions every weekend on various topics, from de-stressing art techniques to growing your own microgreens and your salads, herbs and vegetables, or even virtual campfire story sessions. And the reason why we've been doing this for this long is to spread some positivity during these times, but most importantly, to help you discover your passion. So many of us think that many of us are working or studying, but we don't concentrate on ourselves. And that's what we're trying to do is help you not only relax and have fun on these Sundays, but also learn a new skill, learn a new hobby, interest, or just something about yourself. And that is the essence of Enlightened Sapiens. We are a community, that's all of us together are a community that encourages each other to grow and learn with the things that we love, so that when we are ready, we can give back with this knowledge, making it easier for someone else to do the same. Sort of like a conscious society where we get happy when someone else is doing well or someone else is uplifted. And today we have Revathi Mohan, one of our community members, who wishes to give back with her knowledge on stories and how stories can heal. So a little bit about Revathi. She's an MBA graduate who pursued counseling psychology and founded her clinic, Purple Counseling Care. She loves making people laugh, smile, or just, or think using her stories as well as counseling sessions. And that's exactly what she's going to help us do today. If you all have attended her previous session with us, you all know how interactive it is, where she's just going to create the plot and give the control of the story to you, all of you gathered here today. And we're going to steer the story together. And this time we're going to use the medium of stories about food, different stories about food. And we're going to discover certain things about ourselves as well using this. So keep the chat box clean, but do engage on the chat box. And when required, you can use the raise hand button and you can interact with all of us. So like we said, today we are doing stuff about food, and I think it's a very pertinent, timely topic, especially because a lot of us are now in lockdown again. And I think a lot of us are demotivated, and a lot of things that motivate us is food. What kept us sane last time around was food. And this time we're not going to be, we're not going to be cooking any food during this 1 hour, but we're going to be cooking up stories. So I hope to enjoy this with all of you. And over to you, Revathi.
Hello all. Good morning, Karan, and good morning all. Hope you could hear me. Whether my voice is audible? All right. And thank you so much, Karan, for the nice introduction. And yes, of course, we are going to cooking more stories in this session. So I request you all to use the chat box more so that it be more fun and more interactive. And hope you feel very connected with the stories. All right. And I just want to ask you all one question. So, what is the word that makes you smile? When you hear that word, you just smile instantly. Anything that might be. Glitter. Come on, use the chat box more. Favorite food, guitar, wow. Then fascination, momos, chocolate, food, lovely, lovely, cakes, pastries. Then friends, of course, chumi, mal, of course, pizza, ice cream, nature, sweets, of course. Very good. Puppy, small chocolates, hang out. Very good. So we relate every word with a visualization. Of course, food. These are a kind of therapy for us. Therapies are something that makes you feel calm and composed. That makes you feel content, right? So food is one of the things. So that actually enhances all your senses, right? From the visual, auditory. For example, how do you feel when you cross that? What is that a place where they make some kind of kotu parotas or some chaats? You get automatically tempted, right? Please use the chat box more. All right. Yes, of course. And then we get goosebumps when we smell that wonderful aroma, right? So food is the one thing that really makes us it brings the best version of us, right? For example, you can say no to a person who invites you for a conference. That is very much important to you. Do you say no to a person who invites you for a coffee? You say no to a person who really uh, invites you for to invite you for a feast? No, right? All right, so here we are going to discuss about the foods and how it originated and how it created an impact in the culture and everything. All right, in the character of a person and the culture as well. All right, okay. So is there anyone who hesitates confectionaries? How many of you love desserts? Please use your chat box more. Mimi, Sukanya, Sushmita, Shivanshi. All right. Ati, Abhishek. Yes, of course. We never say a dessert, a feast without desserts are nothing, right? Similarly, now we are going to start this session with sweet, Swedish. All right. Once upon a time, long, long ago, so long ago, there was a king. Let's name the name of a king. You can say anything, any name. Just name a king. Name that king. Just give a name for that king. Any name. You can say anything. Raja Hindustani, Nicole. All right. So here we are going to, the name of the king is Raja Hindustani. The Raja is very fond of sweets. Wherever he go, right from his childhood, he is very much fond of sweets. All right. Once what that Raja did, if he likes Modi ji, like President Trump or Joe Biden, where whichever country they visit, they used to take the chef along with him. All right. So his intention is to get to taste the yummiest sweets, and then they want to prepare the same in their kingdom as well. Similarly, our Raja Hindustani get to know about a person. I just give you a clue. All right, whose name is a three-letter word. All right, and the first letter is the first letter of the alphabet. Just give a guess. It's a three-letter word. His name is a three-letter word, and the first letter is the first letter of the alphabet. Ace, no. Eight, no. And the last letter is I. Give a guess. Ali, yes, of course, it is the story of Mr. Ali. He is the best in making all the confectionaries, right? So Raja Hindustani get to know about Mr. Ali, and then he wants to be friend with him, and then he just invited his kingdom, all right? And then he told Mr. Ali, could you do me a favor? Yes, Raja, as you order, he said. And then, all right, please make the yummiest confectionery that I have ever tasted in my life. All right. And then, as you wish. And then he started. And then Raja also gave a condition. The king also gave a condition that you should not repeat the confectionery. You should not repeat the sweet again. For example, the sweet you prepared in the morning should not be repeated after a week. All right. Similarly, you have to prepare for all the 30 days in a month. So, as the Raja said, our Ali is the expert, right? He is known for this preparing especially only sweets, right? And then he started preparing his yummiest sweets and confectionaries. Okay, just tell me what's your really favorite sweets. Let's check whether our Ali prepared in his Raja's kitchen or not. Kaju Katli, yes, of course he prepared Kaju Katli. Yes, of course he prepared Rasagula, Sushmita. Gulab Jamun, yes, of course. Then, what are all the other sweets? Cham Cham, Jalebi, of course he prepared Jalebi. Croissant, yes, of course. Laddu, yes, of course. Raja is fond of laddus. Rasamala, exactly. Gulab Jamun, yes. But he did not repeat the Gulab Jamun once again. Else the Raja will chop off his head. Come on, macaroon, shahi tukda, imarti, yes, of course. Chocolate barfi, rabdi barfi, yes, of course. Papdi, yes, of course. Fudge, Balushagi, yes, of course. Sheena Parish, yes, of course. He prepared everything. What else he left, man? The Raja's impressed every day, every day, every day. Donuts, mouth-watering, yes. Brownies, yes, of course. He prepared yummy, yummy ice creams as well. All right, baklava, yes, of course, baklava as well. Cakes, sheera, of course, yes. What not? Choco brownie, shuji halwa, yes, of course. Halwa, payasam, oh my god, yes, of course. Raja appreciated every day. That, you know what, every day Raja appreciated, this is the best sweet I have ever had. This is the best sweet I have ever had. So every day goes like that. And the last day, and the last sweet he needs to prepare. And guess what? Ali was started crying. Tell me the reason why he wants to cry. Every day he gets appreciation from the Raja. Why he wants to cry? Just tell me, no? Why he wants to cry? Every day appreciation. Every day he is receiving some compliments from Raja. Tell me, no? A completion of all the item. Prepared every sweet. His work is ending. Oh, his work is ending because he doesn't like to get it eat. No new sweets left to make, of course. Yes, you're right, Shriya. There are no sweets left to make, and then there are no ingredients left to make. He thought of preparing a kind of pastry, but you know what? Or he ended up with very little amount of the ingredient, but he can't able to go. All the shops were closed, especially something like this Corona kind of stuffs, right? So, he was started crying. On the way, his mother noticed. Beta, why are you crying? He said the reason. And then guess what his mother would have told him? Give a guess what his mother would have told him. No more experiment. Oh my God. Innovation absent from his sweets. Mix all the sweets and the new will come. Exactly, Anupriya. Such a motherly heart you have. All right. Yes, their mother said, just do whatever you have in your hand and leave everything to God. All right. And then he prepared all the leftover ingredients. What all the other ingredients he would have? Very less amount of milk, very less amount of pistachio, very less amount of saffron, honey, and all the dry fruits and other items which is necessary to prepare the new food, so new sweets. Okay. And then he just prepared. This is his very first experiment. And then he never tasted that. And then he just brought the plate to the Raja. And then guess what happened next? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what happened? What Raja would have said? Use the chat box more. Raja liked the dish. Raja appreciated the dish. Raja got angry. He loved it very much. Yes. That became his favorite sweet. Best of your sweets. It was delicious. Very tasty. And then, what happened then? Any other views? How you make it? How sweet. Angry with the lack of effort. Prepare this daily. Oh, Kunal. Raja tells him that he can stop making sweets. He gave him gold coins. Of course, he complimented gold, diamond, and all the other gems. He gave him his rings. That's it. All right. As you all said, Raja was much impressed with this dish, sweet, and then he made that as a national sweet of his country. And then Raja asked, just tell me, Ali, who gave you this idea, where you learned the sweet from, why you didn't make this on the very first day? Raja asked Ali like that, and then guess what Ali replied? Raja, please excuse me. And he said and started weeping, weeping, weeping. And Raja asked why and what happened. And then Ali explained all the things. There is no leftover ingredient. He just prepared this with the leftover ingredients. And then you know what? Raja much appreciated Ali. And Raja asked, who gave you this idea? Ali said, it's my mother. Okay, tell me the name of your mother. He said his mother name is Uma. All right. So let's name the dish as Umali. So it was the idea given by Uma, his mother, and the name of the person who prepared this dish, Ali. So it is called Umali. So when you go to Dubai or the Egypt countries, so this is one of the main sweet included in their confectionery list. So share your views about this story. It's all up to you. Karan, shall we unmute them?
Sure, we can. If y'all can use the chat box, of course. And if anyone wants to just share what y'all think or what y'all thought, y'all can raise your hand like Akanksha has, and we can definitely hear your views on it.
Yes, please, Akanksha. Share your views.
Hi.
Umali.
Hey, Akanksha.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, Akanksha.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we could.
Okay. I just wanted to say, what if he didn't want something, he didn't find something to make something interesting like that, and what if Raja will get disappointed with the dish at the last? I mean, the no left ingredients and all this stuff.
Something it happened, and this was the one of the dish which is currently you can Google as well. And then of course Raja get impressed because he already you know what, Raja conditioned his mind for the past 29 days. Whatever Ali prepares, it was so delicious, isn't it or not?
Yeah, and the mind will work like that, that his dish is always being something amazing.
If it is from Ali, it will be great, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story.
Yeah, thank you. So any other views? Thank you.
In the middle,
sorry, I thought you finished.
Sorry.
In the middle, what if when you said nobody can give the idea, can he make it her own, his own, to prepare something like that? He can't even reach out to his mother or anything like that.
Some way or the other, he need to prepare some dish, right? He might cry for us, and then he need to prepare the dish. He needs to go to the work, right? For example, similarly, just relate these things with our life incidences. For example, we used to compare our life with other people. Like, what if I have some kind of extraordinary life like that person, like this person? What if I had some financial status like this person and that person? All the day we ended up with crying, and then the next moment, what happened? We need to go to the work and we do whatever resources we have, right? Similarly,
Yeah.
And then moreover, Ali didn't go anywhere. For example, there is no Google on those days as well. He just fortunately his mother was there to guide him. And then there is similarly, there is no point in crying what we don't have, or what we don't have, keep on complaining. Let's make it of our own resources, whatever we have. And that's the best, right?
Yeah, I want to say one thing about this.
Expected means there is no new dish. Umali has not been invented, right? Has not been discovered, right? And that's it. So how you relate other participants, and thank you, Akansha, how you relate this thing with your life incidences or any of your perceptions, please?
You can unmute yourself, Nagapriya. I think you wanted to speak earlier as well.
Hi, Hi, all. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah. See, it's a very simple, crisp stories in layers. Okay. If you are smart enough, you can pick up as many as you want from this very small story. I'll share you my views. Sometimes limitations and compulsions bring out the best in you.
True.
And most of the times, instead of orienting yourself on the result, just enjoy the process.
Exactly.
Just enjoy. You don't know what will come up at the end. But it can be anything as long as you have the hold. Chill, breathe out, and enjoy the process. See, he had to cry, but at the end of the day, he realized that he had to do something also. So it's the same thing in our life also. Sometimes you are in crossroads and you really don't know which road to pick up. Don't brood too much about the road that you have to choose. Just pick up one thing, and who knows, you're going to find out something really new. This is what I'm taking it from you, dear.
That's so sweet of you. Yes, of course. For example, it is all about what are all the life instances you have come across. Based on that, we relate ourselves with the stories, right? The stories, what we hear is the same, but how we perceive, how we relate ourselves with the life instances is unique for everyone. And being a chef, I made umali in more than 11 ways. Wow, that's an amazing sweet. It is one of the awesome. Dr. Kavita, could you please unmute yourself? We really want to hear your views. Fusion worked with wonders, for example.
Dr. Kaviraj Kilani is a celebrity chef from Bombay, by the way, guys. So if Doctor, if you'd like to add anything, you can, or I can just read out your comment. So what? Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi. Good morning.
I have a small glitch with my video that's like on the online there. I just shared my views, with regards to Mali. It's a very good concept, very good story shared by Revathi. And that took me back to memories, when I started working with this street about 20 years back. So it reminds me of that, and I think this is one of the most interesting sweet I came across from the Middle East. And my entire views about this sweet have been that it's a very refreshing kind of dessert. And the experience has been very nice because I tried this like with more than 11 types of cuisines. And the best one was the Indian style, when I used the meetha pan. And that really worked a lot with this one. So I basically made the umari with the element of khari biscuit, what we get in India here. So I use khari biscuit, I use rabri with that. So a very interesting twist on that. And I also used pan ki rabri to serve this. And it's been like a wow dessert. I hope to share some of these ideas very soon with all of you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Great. So like we were saying this, Les, Ritika asked, you're a bit confused what's this session about. So let me answer that. What we're doing is we're sharing stories about food, which are real world stories about food, but the deeper meaning of how we can reflect and how we can understand ourselves and positivity through that. Like we said, make best use of your resources. Like Priya mentioned, look at the journey, but don't look at the destination. So using these stories about food, we are trying to understand a little bit more about ourselves as well as how we can cope. Like we said, the unprecedented times, and food can be a stress buster. So that's sort of what we're doing. We're just relaxing, talking about food, and also learning in the process. Super, Revathi. We have another. Ria wants to unmute you. Would you like to hear her views, or would you like to go to the next story?
Is there anyone who wants to share their views?
Okay, sure. Ria.
All right, so I'm Ria, and I just heard what Priya had to say. So I'd just like to talk about myself. She was mentioning that you should focus on the journey and not the destination. But what if there are people like me who are so I'm an emotional person. I take things too hard, and so I was just trying to relate myself with the story. So what if I'm in the place of Umali and I have to make all these desserts, and this is my profession, and so will I feel the pressure of making all these different kind of desserts, and will I be able to like do it? And initially things are going well, and I get like more and more orders, and because I have a tendency to like think a lot. So, and also if I like get stressed out, I generally like turn to food, and because I don't like to like drink or smoke, and like drugs is out of the question. So I have done that in the past, wherein I've like turned to food and done a bit of like emotional eating. So yeah, so in order to like come out of this and deal with things better, I've done like a lot of reading, and then like and spoken to friends and people who advise that it's best to like focus on the present moment, and like focus on the journey. So I just like to like maybe people can sort of give their advice as to how they handle like disappointments, so I just thought like I'm just like trying to relate it with myself.
Um,
All right. Thanks, Ria. That's really nice insight or a reflection that you've had, and I think that's something that we a lot of us have, have different ways of coping with things. Like you said, you've turned to food. I turn to food a lot of times when I'm feeling down and low, and I've realized I'm at the bottom of an ice cream tub. But there's a term that may help, Ria, because you're already so mindful of what of your emotions, is a term called resilience. So we can take a session on resilience. I'd love to do that for you, because I think it's important. And resilience is sort of there's a resilience zone where, if you notice, like every day, every single day we have multiple emotions, right? So we say, okay, we wake up, we think we're going to be positive, and then suddenly, something happens, your mobile phone breaks, someone gives you bad news, and right now every day someone's either getting COVID, either someone's in the hospital. It's just stressful every single day, and it spikes. You either loop up where you're wired, or you go low where you're like, you don't feel like doing anything, you don't feel like getting out of bed. So same thing with the chef that invented this dish. Is that he with resilience, you seek support. You can seek support and have support either through outside sources, that is your family, friends, what we are doing as a community, or as inward through your resources that you have. Like he had his mother to guide him. For me, I personally, if I'm feeling low, I'll look at my plants, or I'll garden, or I'll think of my mountains. And so you find something that centers you, either a book, author, and it'll bring you back into that zone, right? So if you fluctuated up and you're wired, you can come back into the zone. And if you're low and you don't feel like doing something, you can at least come back and start. And being in that zone will help you at least tide over that feeling that you're having. So I hope that helps. It's really short, but I think I will create a session on resilience, because I think it's a very important topic, and I think it'll be beneficial to a lot of us here. So I hope that was somewhat answers your questions, Ria. And if you have any follow-up, you can.
all right. And Ria, personally want to suggest you something. Just trust the process. Magic happens. I won't say it will happen today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It's not like that. But just trust the process. That's it. Good thing will really come to you. And that's okay. We are humans. Sometimes we feel low. Sometimes we feel hopeless. But that's okay. We are not programmed devices, right? And sometimes program devices also make some issues. It goes for some glitch, so that's okay. We are human being, right? And all right, so shall we move to the next story? Of course. So it is a story of a doctor. Okay, what kind of doctor he would be? Just give a guess. Let's first give a name for the doctor. Just give a name for the doctor. Come on, soon. Dr. Quake. Dr. Pashupati. All right. We just named the doctor as Pashupati. All right. You know what? What kind of doctor he would be? Whether he's a surgeon or allopathic doctor, what's your perception when you hear the name Dr. Pashupati? Dentist, Ayurvedic, naturopathy? Yes, of course, he is a homeopathy doctor. Yes, of course, he is a homeopathy doctor, animal doctor. Treat pancreas. All right. Dr. Pashupati is, in this story, Dr. Pashupati is the allopathic doctor. All right. But he is the best. He knows he do surgeries and he just, as you mentioned, he treats dental issues and what not. He's the best of everything. All right. He is known for the best to treat the people, whether beside what issues you have an ophthalmology issue, you can go to Pashupati. If you have dental issue, you can go to Pashupati. If you have some wound in your hand, you can go to Pashupati. Yes, of course, he's a food healer. No, he's fond of foods. All right. Once what happened, Pashupati falls sick and he thought, being a doctor, what if I approach other doctor? People would, if I fall sick, what if I approach the other doctor? What if people misperceives me? And then he was a little bit hesitant. Day after day after day, his health got deteriorating every day. What happened next? Just use the chat box more. Why Pashupati hesitate to approach the other doctors? Of course, one of the reasons is, what if people misperceives him? What if people don't come to his clinic again? What would be the reason? People think allopathic is fake. Ego, of course, ego. Competition. Yes, of course, what if that doctor becomes his competitor? Because he knows everything. But that didn't work for him. He knows everything. Hesitant, of course. He's hesitant. The idea of status, exactly. Charge is too much. Why he wants to afraid that someone's charge is too much? That also happens, all right. Trust, very good. Alshia, trust. He doesn't want people to know about his illness. Very good. He's shy, of course. And then his family members were bothered a lot. And then one day his wife told, I get to know there are two saints came to a village. They cure all the illness. All right. And then Pashupati nodded and agreed to meet that saint. And then saint gave an ingredient. He had that and then his health issues got resolved. So what's your view about this? Finally, he agreed. Some saint gave this ingredient, maybe kind of medicine. His health issues got sorted out. Steroids? No, not at all. I tell you, what that ingredient is, I just give you a clue of that ingredient, all right? It is grown in Srinagar, all right? It is one of the most expensive ingredient. And then, yes, of course, saffron, Anupriya. Exactly, it is saffron. He gave saffron and then his health issues got sorted out. Of course, you all know saffron is very rich in iron and it increases the hemoglobin. It is rich in antioxidants as well. All right. So, give your views about this story. Pause. It is about you, your perception, how you perceive this story. You can relate yourself with the saint. You can relate yourself with the Pashupati. You can relate yourself with the Pashupati's family members. Anything it might be. I just share my views in this regard. For example, we all have some inhibitions. Like we live mostly for the society. What if somebody tells like that? For example, being a psychologist, do I have right to visit other psychologists? No, why should I? For example, everybody is unique and everybody has some kind of different specialization. There is no point in, for example, you can relate yourself with your business as well. People hesitate to talk with the people belong to their business sector. Two things: what if they get to know about your business secret, and second thing, what if the other person feels you don't know anything, right? These kinds of inhibitions are there. So we are much bothered about the society. What if other person says like that? What if other person says like this, right? And you can relate yourself with the Pashupati's family members as well. What if they asked him or convinced him to approach other doctors as well? Do you think Pashupati got convinced? No. Of course, there is. If Pashupati keeps on worrying what others think means, do you think his health issues got resolved? And do you think he get to know another ingredients? It is an add-on list in his knowledge, right? Maybe his trust in the saint worked more for him than the Kesar did. Nice perception. Of course, we really need to trust someone, right? Maybe trust the process or trust someone. He trusted his wife, so that trust made him to trust the saint, right? So that the trust is also a kind of ripple. And anyone can raise their hands and share your views this regard. The saint was not his town. Exactly. The saint was not his town. No one could know. Oh no, not like that. Actually, we need to have an idea about, excuse me, that other persons also know something better than us. For example, we can relate this with anything. We can relate this thing with the family elders. We can relate things with the children in our home, right? We have a perception that children don't know much things than us. So this perception is completely wrong. And yes, please share your ideas.
Yeah, hi Revathi, hi everyone here. I think you're absolutely right, because if you even, that one poem from Khalil Gibran, which really has hit a chord with me, is that our children are not our children, their lives longing for themselves. And yes, true, children really do teach us a lot. And I think the inner child in all of us, for that matter, has more wisdom than all the grown-ups in society put together. And I believe human angels walk amongst us. I don't think we acknowledge it, and that's why we don't let them in, because we have trust issues. And the person we don't trust mostly is ourselves, because we have certain insecurities that we have not been able to overcome. And that's why we don't allow other people. So it's our inner limitation really that stops us from doing anything. And I'm not saying I've got it all right. I think my life has just about begun. And I've just about started to learn I think as far as food is concerned, whatever I've been doing a lot of reading about a lot of things. I've been into actively like going through alternative methodologies, this, that, and I've understood basically three things. That one thing basically, and that involves three elements, is that what we consume, we become. Be it people, be it food, and be it content. So I think we need to be very, very mindful of that. And as far as Ria, you were saying that, or you were saying that the resources you have, we must use. Yes, that comes from a sense of gratitude. But I believe that if one has decided, nahi, ye to mujhe karna hi hai, chahe kuch bhi ho jaye, then I think it's true. People do come forward. Things will happen when that purpose is so strong. It'll happen on its own. I think I'm not there as yet, but I can see that reality. And sometimes the universe is giving us messages through people, animals, even food. And I don't think we are in tune with it, because we don't go out so much, we don't talk so much. And really the real freedom we have is the fact that we have what I would like to say is we have freedom right now. There are people who are locked up. This lockdown has taught us something, that people, they're locked up in jails. Not then just that, people locked up, living beings locked up in zoos. And we have this basic thing called freedom. And what's stopping that freedom is the prison in our head, not anywhere else. And food has some very beautiful stories, whether it's your mother, what I would really love is, since so many of the chefs are here, that if anybody can really study and go back our systems and incorporate it in food that sells, business has to become more ethical, because eating the right food can change everything, your mood, your chemicals, everything. And stress eating, all of that will go. Who you become is to do with food, what you're watching, what you're reading, and the people that you're consuming too. And all of that can change overnight. And I'm not just saying this, I've been reading a lot of stuff. I can quote it also. I don't watch any negative content anymore, because that's not what I want to consume. I came across this book, this person called John McAvoy, and he was in jail. And now he's an athlete sponsored by Nike. So I think we're very blessed. So food is a very important element for kids in school. People like us need to reach out to communities and make sure that food is better for everybody, starting with ourselves. That's all I wanted to say. And I'm so sorry I've taken so much time, but it's just something I'm going through, and this is what I've understood. And I would like to suggest a podcast called Sporkful that actually gets to know people through food. So whether it's what they did in the food canteen, whether, when they were in war zone, how did they manage food? So really, it's about people, because food is people. So it's not just, chocolates and pastries and what looks good. It's literally like a personality. So downtime doesn't have to be junk time. It can be absolutely the best time.
Absolutely. And Divya, that's really beautifully said. And you honestly don't have to apologize. In fact, I got a message while you were speaking, is please spotlight the speaker. She's so good and insightful. So I think it was
okay,
really...
You want me to a video?
No, I'm just saying you don't have to apologize. Like you said, you've been reading. Trust what you're saying is right. And it was very beautifully said. And it's a great reflection.
I am going through a process. If I have been asked to spotlight, then please allow me 2-3 more minutes, because there is something that, I've got all the degrees and all of those things that, that says, that you read these stories about people and, then you have to go to work tomorrow. I don't believe that's true. I'm not, I know it has been mentioned in this very forum right now, but this is just my view. I believe next morning it can change. Very next minute it can change, because I've been reading a lot of spiritual stuff and all of them say the same thing, but it takes that one jolt to actually get you to implement it. And it took a criminal for me to do that. No, I did not enjoy the glorifying of any of his crime stories. And that's what, podcasts and other things tend to do. I was so focused about, how did this man manage to do this? He's working with kids today. And I really make an appeal to the chefs here. I'm very happy to be, connected to you. I can put my email here. Please, please, please use our ancient sciences. Food can heal people like nothing else does. पूरी दुनिया की माएं तो अच्छी कुक नहीं हो सकती, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है ना, मतलब let's call them women. But why is it that every child says, my mummy's food, मजा आ गया? No, it's not just the food. It's what you put in it. It's the vibration that goes in it. And I'm not a great cook, but I'm very creative. So I don't enjoy the cutting, the chopping, but I'm extremely creative as a person. I do believe, I'm sorry, I'm saying that with my own. And creation is not just about art. It's even business is creation. So please, I'm very passionate about what you're talking. Let's focus, especially in this lockdown time, in consuming better things, better food, better people, better content. Netflix is not the answer. And yes, if it has to be, let's come together and, I have an idea for even food. What can really make for really good content instead of a Netflix series that's just going to waste your time. I'm sorry, I'm very blunt. When people ask me, what are you doing currently? My answer has been, I'm in a phase. I'm that honest. I have come to that stage where I'll put myself absolutely naked in front. And the reason I don't have it on video, I can put myself on video. I want my voice to be more important than my face. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And
No.
Ria, that will happen if it's there. It's all inside of you, and I know it's inside of me, and I've really been inspired. I spend a lot of time with dogs, and there are times I don't know where anything will come from. It just does. And as far as the saffron, the I think there's a metaphor there. If they are saints, because amongst us walk human angels. If you think you're going to do something alone, it's not going to happen. You have to make up your mind inside alone, yes, but everyone will walk up to you and do crazy things for you. I've had a policeman at 10 p.m. at night help me get home in Delhi, and it's not the greatest idea, but I have trusted him to do that because I just knew this is the better way, and it happened, and he got me home safely. So thank you, everybody. Sorry for the time, but love
No,
you.
like you said, you don't have to apologize at all. You can read the chats now that you can see that it's all positive, and people have really been inspired by what you're saying, and that's what that's what someone asked, what are we doing here, and it's stirring these emotions, right? And getting this message out there that Divya said, it's all within us, and it's in our control. So
And
why not?
I just want to say, by the way, I need help myself. So
We
when
all
I
do.
say connect, no, I haven't got it. My story has just begun. मुझे शायद अब जाके समझ शायद आना शुरू हुआ है. So when I'm saying please connect with me, it's also I'm saying I need help just as much as you do. I haven't got it. No, I haven't got it right. I'm trying to get there, but we have to get there together. So thank you and love you all so much. I love people. I love food, but I love food that makes better people, because believe it or not, yes, all that chemical is coming from food, and the love stories that or the mother stories we associate with it. And sometimes people don't want to talk to you, but just want to talk food, which is actually also a way of saying, side ho jao, mujhe tumhari emotions nahi, wo pastry try ki, ye ki. There's something hidden there. So we have a power to change something. I think menus need to look different. I don't know what I'm even talking about now, but I know I'm onto something. What I don't know is yet. And maybe I'll find some human angels here, like the Enlightened Sapiens. Thank you so much. Love you all.
Most welcome. And yes, and like you said, we're all a community, and we are open to hearing everyone's views. And so yes, you like Divya so passionately explained what she's going through, and looking to connect. That's another thing, loneliness, like she said. People are in human zones, and we all are at our homes. We are lucky, we're blessed. But there's a lot of loneliness right now. There's, people are not able to meet other people, and I thrive of meeting people and learning from people. So that's what we're doing, learning. Not too long, don't worry, but there are few people who have a message that they do want to share. So I know, Ritika, we're going to get to you. Diksha, I think you've already unmuted. Let's quickly share your experience, or what you have to share. And Revathi has some more stories she would like to
Hello.
help us with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Hello.
Diksha.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Actually, ma'am ने इतने अच्छे से कहा everything. Even I wanted to share my experience. Like 6 years back, at the age of 22, I was in corporate. So MBA मुझे छोड़ना पड़ा था अपना, because I was diagnosed with autoimmune disorder, multiple sclerosis, and food and diet has played such an important role in healing my body. And it's been like 5.5 years I've been clean. It's so scary to recall that experience also. And even after that, I got a lot of into healing. I'm a pranic healer myself, and apart from that, I'm into spiritual reading and everything. So yes, it is so important that what you consume matters, not only in terms of food, but your body, mind, and soul has to be in harmony. So that also depends in which environment you are, and also the people that you are in contact with. Because major reason autoimmune disorders का stress होता है. And I think Indian society में छोटी-छोटी चीजों को लेके कितना like stress generate होता है कि लोग क्या बोलेंगे, relatives क्या करेंगे, ऐसा career को लेके, and like smallest of things. But अगर देखने जाए तो more than 90% of the things don't even matter. So I think वो मुझे share करना था that it is so important कि ये चीज का awareness होना चाहिए. And that was what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Diksha. And let's take one last quick one from Ritika, because the idea is we don't peer everyone out, and there is a very safe space. Ritika, you can unmute, and then we are going to go back to Revathi. She has some more stories. But yes, keep these comments coming and keep these reflections coming.
Hi, everyone. Since everyone gathered here is a foodie, I just wanted to say that our conditioning has made us believe that for our taste buds, it's okay to be cruel to some species. And I just wanted to share that it's just a request, actually. Please think where you're sourcing your food from. It could be someone's baby. It could be someone's mother. The milk that we drink, we actually steal from a baby that was just born. I'm really trying to be subtle here, and I'm open to conversation, but I thought that this was a beautiful group of people who loved food. And I just wanted to say, let's try to be more compassionate to all species, just not a few. That's all I wanted to say. It could be someone's baby, and they feel enough pain and suffering to be able to separate it, like when they're separated from their mothers or family or anything. So yeah.
All right, thanks, Ritika. So that was really, I can feel what you're feeling, and I think everyone in this room can. If you all haven't seen it, it's not, again, it's we like you said, these are separate topics. One is only so much that we can put down. Today is more of these stories, but the idea is that these emotions are coming out in all of us, and I know it's triggered you a bit, right? And I recently saw this documentary because Seaspiracy. I don't eat fish myself, but if you guys want to see that documentary, it's on Netflix. It talks about food sourcing and about the plastic pollution that's there in the ocean, where fishing is one of the major contributors. So these are just topics that can be opened up. These are just discussions that can be had, so there is so I do want to thank you, Ritika, for sharing your comment. And it's something that we all are interconnected with each other. We all are dependent on each other. So if we are able to understand that me and the thing that I'm consuming, whether it's this phone, it comes from China, and then we hate on a country. So it's we got to understand that we all are interconnected. We all are dependent on each other, and all our simple small actions can make a positive impact. So yes, let's thanks again all of you all for sharing your views and comments. It went a little bit off topic, but that's what we're trying to do, is just reflect and ideate. So thank you, Revathi, of course, for these reflections. So let's do one more a story, if you don't mind. I know we ended up having an off-topic discussion, but I'm glad we did. And like you can see on the comments, it's made people think. So Revathi, if you don't mind, let's go to another story and get that.
Yes, Karan, sure. And you know what? This is what we are looking for, right? The purpose of the story session is to make self-reflective session, right? And it's really nice to hear the comments from all the people over here, participants over here. Some way or the other, this is a sign that it really impacted them, right? And all right, so next story. Hope you're all ready. Please use your chat box more. All right. Okay, now we are going to discuss a story about a starter. All right. So once upon a time, as I mentioned, long ago, so long ago, there was a war between two countries. All right. So during the war, there are a few ethical things the kings and the kingdom needs to follow. What are all those? What are all the ethical things the countries needs to follow during the war? Akash, great to hear from you. And please tell me, don't kill the messenger. Yes, of course, not to kill the messenger. Then there are few rules that the girl, I'll be happy, purely free, healthy. All right, Radhika, protect the children. Yes, exactly, Mr. Kunal. To protect the children and women, supply basic necessities of the people. Don't destroy the food. Very good, Anupriya. Very good. Exactly. So that is the reason for in case of war, there will be a separate ground so that the kings and the other kingdoms and the soldiers will go to the ground and then they should prove their skill of handling the elephant and handling the what is it other willpower other pass in the ground, all right, through the fight, through the battle. So they keep the ground would be far away, far away from the town, all right, from the country. So during those days, they keep the food, they prepare the they have the what is the kitchen in the underground, all right. They created a kind of a tunnel in the underground and then they prepare the food over there, all right. So once upon a time when there was a war between the two countries, this is what happened. But you know what, one of the most important thing during the war is they need to follow the timing, all right. For example, they should not be unethical. For example, if I say tomorrow at 9 o'clock there would be a war, means they should not be the other country members should not come at 8 o'clock or even 8:30, all right. And then they should not find some other what is the shortcuts to attack the other kingdom as well. So these are all few of the ethical qualities of the kings and the kingdom needs to follow. Unfortunately, what happened, let us fix, there is a war between France and China, all right. So when there is a battle between them, when the France people were preparing, the chefs were once upon a time the chefs were started preparing the bread in the early morning. Yes, they need to feed their soldiers, right? And then they started preparing the yummiest breads. So it was in the underground tunnel. They listened, they get to know about unexpected sound over there, all right, unexpected noise. So what that might would be? In the tunnel, they hear some noise. Someone is digging the tunnel near their kitchen. So what that might be? Animal noise? Echo of something? Not an animal noise. Yes, of course, the opponent were digging the tunnel from the other end to attack the kingdom. For example, if they waste all the food, means they destroy the kitchen, means their soldiers and the people would not have any energy to fight, right? So these are the strategy they have followed. Unexpectedly, the chefs informed the kingdom, and then they fought against, and then they won the kingdom from the war. So two things you need to consider in this. First thing, the very first important thing is we should be ethical always. If we are not ethical, means some way or the other the opponent will find out. Second thing is we need to be ethical to be happy for ourselves, right? And then, so this is the true story. So that's how the croissant bread is made. So it is the shape of the what is that, moon, croissant moon. And then, so this is the story of the croissant bread. So in order to celebrate the chefs, so these are the story about how the chefs saved the country. So what if the chef haven't informed the kingdom? So it will be in a problem, right? Huge. The kingdom would have been destroyed, right, in the battle. So, and that's it. Please share your views about this story. I have finished this story fatafat because I really want to know your perception in this regard. So, and that's it. Share your views. So hope we have time. Exactly 12.
And we can extend it by a bit if everyone's okay with it. If anyone likes to add anything, I hope we've covered everyone who wanted to speak or share. So Kunal has a comment saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." So, if you'll have any comment, if you'll want to share experiences, you're more than welcome to. You can use the raise hand button. Yeah.
And food plays an important role in our culture. You know what? I prepared a few other things as well. There is a food called cheese fondue. It is the national food of Switzerland. You know what? They can only eat as a family meal, right? So when the cheese is melted, everyone in the family need to be there and then to have it. And then similarly in Arabic culture, the camel meat. So this is also in that way. One family can't eat the entire camel meat. So it is a tradition of that place over there. And similarly in Canada, they conduct every year food festival, especially to appreciate each other's culture. Yes, cheese fondue is very delicious. And please share your views this regard. Of course, as Divya said, it is not about what we are consuming. We are consuming in our eyes as well. We are consuming in our ears as well, right? What we see, what we hear, or everything we consume. So consume very good thing and spread more love and more positivity and more kindness.
Absolutely. So I think Revathi, everyone is writing, as you can see. Thank you, and it was a very enriching session for sure, Revathi. We had a lot of different perspectives that came about, and I'm glad we got to address each one of them. Though we couldn't go into detail, as you all can understand that. Time is limited, but we like to open the dialogue. That's what we're doing every session. Many of you thought, okay, we're learning stories, and yes, we are able to understand that there's deeper meaning to these things, right? To the food that we eat and where it comes from, but also reflect on how we are feeling with it. So we'll have to open the dialogue. We're having a wellness challenge as well. The thing is, we're doing different things with gardening. We're not only teaching about growing your own sustainable food, but also on the positive impacts that greenery can have around you. And similarly with art, and we're saying, okay, you can't, if you can't draw, it's fine. Just begin, so if you like to, how do I say this? If you like to add, a lot of people have mentioned, Parul mentioned, she's one of the attendees here, said that have a session with Divya. And yes, why not? And the idea is we all have pockets of knowledge, right? We don't, like Divya said, she's still learning. It's the beginning for her. And that's important. We all are learning. I'm learning. Revathi is learning, and the entire community is still learning. So if you feel you have a pocket of knowledge, like how beautifully Revathi shared these stories. There's a lot of research that goes behind it. There's a lot of thought. She's a trained professional in psychology, and she's encapsulated that into these 3 beautiful stories, which would make us think of it in a different way and make us trigger us in different ways. So yes, if we would love to have all of you part of it. That's what we said. We're a community together. That's only together. It's not me. It's not Revathi. It's not Nicole. It's all of us together who make up the community. So do definitely reach out to us via Instagram or emails. And let me actually share that. Give me a second. All right. So like you all know, we are on pretty much all platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook. The session is going to be on YouTube. Someone asked they want to go back. So yes, y'all can go back to our YouTube channel. Y'all can subscribe so that you'll keep getting these updates. And y'all can reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook, either with an idea that y'all have on what y'all could do or what more y'all would like to hear. And Revathi is on Instagram and Facebook as well. Y'all can reach out to her. She's doing beautiful work, and we also like we said, we on email. You can note down our email. You can screenshot this page if you like, and our website is here, enlightenedsapiens.com. All our upcoming events are there as well. And like I mentioned, we have a wellness challenge. We keep having these different challenges. The idea is right now we're on I think day 5 or day 6. I'm not too sure of the wellness challenge, and you can still start from day one, where it's simple activities like you said. Okay, take 5 minutes out, 10 minutes out to just reflect, ideate, and manifest what you want to do. Take 10 minutes out just to move. It could be dance. The other day, just dance. If you want to dance, I put my baby to sleep and I dance. I said, okay, that's my 10-minute activity. It could be a meditation. It could be so many things. And the idea is, the other day, it makes you think or makes you do those things that it's good for you. The other day it was 11:40 and I believe me, there's so much happening down. Hi, sorry, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so I don't know how much you all heard, but the idea is that, can you hear me now? Sorry, I'm just facing some technical issues. Okay, great. So, something funny happened. We were doing the wellness challenge, and there are different things like move, exercise, and so I think on day 2 it was just take 10 minutes out in the day to reflect and ideate and manifest. And I was having such a tough day that I couldn't remove 10 minutes from. I wake up at 5:36. I couldn't remove 10 minutes. My child woke up early, and then things kept happening. So at 11:40 in the night, I said, "Nahi yaar, I have to do something." And I sat out I sit here, this is where I work in. And there's my neighbor, we all in lockdown in Bombay. My neighbor in the next building was playing his guitar. And all I did was I spent 10 minutes hearing him play his beautiful music and meditated using that. So, we can find it within ourselves to take 10 minutes out for ourselves. And that's what the wellness challenge is. So you can follow us on Instagram and participate. Actually, we will be putting up the highlights are there on the previous day, so you can take those prompts. And yes, we have upcoming sessions. The next one is we are drawing. It's different forms of lettering. Doing different forms because again now we're back to doing stuff from home, and you can write beautiful letters. Yoga, like we said, mind body alignment. So we have classical yoga. By this person called Yogatman, and we have traditional pranayama, that's breathing techniques and meditation techniques, and learning to connect with an inner tutor, again, learning to believe in yourself. And between this, we have a session with Kavya Sharma as well on writing. She's going to help us write. So sessions are going on, getting added. If you like to hold one or know someone who'll be perfect for this, you all can reach out to us. And yes, as I said, all these sessions are free. You can share this with someone who you think will enjoy. And if you feel you have a skill, whether it's a skill which is more tangible, like editing videos, able to orate, reading, any skill that you all have, social, do reach out to us. Our team is always growing, and we love the help. And or you can share this with someone. So thank you all for taking the time out again, for being here. Thank you, Revathi, for this beautiful, beautiful session. And thank you all you participants for spending that extra 10 minutes with us. I know we are late by 10 minutes. We overextended by 10 minutes, and all those comments. So those beautiful reflections by all of you who've participated, and you all can again see this on YouTube and catch up with all of you next week where we're doing lettering. So yes, sadly, all our sessions are free. We've been doing sessions for a while now. It takes a lot of resources, time, effort, but the idea is we're spreading positivity, and that's what we are about. We are a social enterprise. We are not an organization. We are just trying to do good and help people be more positive and better themselves. So thank you all again, and have a nice, beautiful, beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week.